Good afternoon, students. So today in this online class, I will discuss a thing of beauty stanzaic explanation. Okay. So let's start with stanza. The lines are okay. These are the lines. Then I'll explain one by one. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower quiet for us and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. So these are the lines. A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into the nothingness, but it will keep a bower quiet for us and a sleep full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing. The poet here in this line says that beauty stays forever. Beauty is permanent. It never fades away with the passage of time. Understood? Rather, it increases with the passage of time. The perception of the poet regarding beauty is that it never goes up with the passing time. Rather, it beautifies more and more. So what the poet wants to say? The poet wants to say that beauty is a perennial source of joy in our life. It is everlasting, it is not fluctuated. Okay? It is everlasting, it is not fluctuated. And it beautifies more and more with the passage of time. That means beauty increases with the passage of time, rather decreases, because it is a permanent, perennial source of joy. For the poet, beauty is like what? Beautiful is like a beautiful shade. Okay, one word was given, a bower. That means what? That cool, calm, shady. Okay. For the poet, beauty is like what? Beautiful shady tree. That word given, bower. Under whose shade all the creatures can sleep peacefully and enjoy good health. So being a romantic poet deals with nature, John Keats here emphasizes the fact that beauty is everlasting, beauty is permanent. Okay. Understood? So beauty is here everlasting and it is the perennial source of joy, and it has been compared with a what? Bower. It means what? Beautiful shady tree under whose shade the many creatures can sleep peacefully and enjoy good health. So these are the lines and this is the explanation part. Check one time. Moving forward towards the next lines. Next lines, the poet says, therefore on every morrow as we wreathing a flowery band to bind us to the earth, spite of despondence, of the inhuman dearth, of noble natures, of the gloomy days, of all the unhealthy and over darkened ways, made for our searching, yes, in spite of all, some shape of beauty moves away the pall from our dark spirits. So, what would be the explanation? Let's check. The poet through these lines says that every day it is the beauty which fills with the spirit to live. It is the beauty which builds the desire in us to live through. There are sad moments and cruel people. So here in these lines the poet wants to say that beauty unites us, beauty binds us through what? Through constant love sharing. Understood? The poet wants to say that all the world is inflicted with negative thoughts, negative aspects of life, because we are encircled by many selfish people. We are overburdened with what? Overburdened with fever and fret of the world. We are sometimes what? Disliked by other. We are frustrated, we are despondent. So these are the negative aspects of life. People's jealousy, people's unlikings. Okay, these are the negative aspects of life. So if these negative aspects of life exist in a life, there is one real source of definitely overshadows all of them. What is that? Definitely that is beauty, only beauty. So beauty has the capacity to bind us and what? And to remove all these negative thoughts like the cruel people's jealousy, their negligence, all definitely has that power. So here the poet, without beauty, the earth will be full of cruel people, sad and gloomy moments. Gloomy means sad also. It is the beauty which is created by God which help us to remove the sadness from our hearts. The beauty is the creation of God. So beauty has the capacity to unite us, binds us with all the people, even though the John Keats here tries to say that we all are definitely living, dwelling on that negative aspects of life, because our life is not a bed of roses. It is always challenging. It is full of trials and tribulations, favor and fruit of life. Understood? Here all these lines are not written. So try to understand what I am saying. Our life is full of fever and the fruit and the trial and tribulations. Even though we are definitely moving towards perennial source of joy. And thank God for this, the gift of beauty. Understood? Moving forward. Next one. Watch the sun, the moon, trees, old and young, sprouting a shady bone. For simple sheep and such are the daffodils, with the green world they live in, and clear reels that for themselves a cooling covert make against the hot season, the mid forest break. Okay? So these are the beautiful lines. So many positive aspects of life, so many loves and caring, so many natural beauties. Trees, young sprouting, shady boon, simple sheep, daffodils, reels, all these are definitely the beauties of nature. What would be the explanation of these lines? Let's check. Here the poet describes the beautiful things which are present on earth. These are the sun, moon, trees, flowers, daffodils, and the rivers. So the CBSE so many asks these short questions what that mention the list of beauty in a life. Mention the thing of beauty which are what positive. So these are beautiful things. What are the beautiful things in our world? Sun, moon, trees, flowers. Here is daffodils, one flower you know, yellow in color. Rivers. All these are source of beauty. The poet further says that all these things are like blessing bestowed on the creatures by the earth. He further describes that the trees provide us with the shade, flowers with the beauty, and rivers with the coolness during the hot summer. One word has been used here, that is reels, RILLS. Reels means a stream or source of water, rivers. River helps us in which way? It gives us coolness during the scorching heat of the summer. How does flower help us? The flower help us with the beauty. Okay, and how does that shade help us? Shade help us, the trees that provide the shade. How does the tree help us? Trees help us with providing what? Shade. At the time of what? Scorching heat, we take shelter under the tree. So this way trees, flowers, and the rivers help us in different dimension. All of these are the beauties of nature which are like a boon for us, like a blessing for us. These flowers, these trees, these rivers, all are. Here one word is you also is used that you can say that is given here, sheep. You know the sheep also that symbolizes innocence. That sheep is a symbolizes that animal symbolizing for that innocence. That also definitely a greatest gift of God. All these are boon and the blessings of God, which again the gift of beauty of nature. Next lines, moving towards the next lines. Sprinkling of fair mask rose blooms, and such too is the grandeur of the domes. We have imagined for the mighty dead all the lovely tales that we have heard or read, an endless fountain of immortal drink pouring into us from the heavens brings. These are the beautiful lines and the concluding lines of the poem. What the poet wants to say? The poet wants to say here through these lines that check one time. The poet further carries on in the concluding lines with the description of the more beautiful things present on the earth, such the beautiful musk rose, which have such a nice fragrance. Musk roses, known for fine fragrances. Then he describes the tales of the mighty warriors. Yesterday I had discussed who are the real heroes, soldiers who have sacrificed their lives for our motherland. So the tales of the mighty warriors who laid their lives for their countries or for humanity, they are the real heroes, and these heroes are also a source of beauty for ourselves. So if that the line will continue mention the thing of beauty, then you will continue that this one river, flowers and trees along with what? Along with musk rose, along with that mighty warriors, because they also sacrifice their life as a symbol of humanity. He says that these beautiful things are the gifts from the God for all of us, and they are like a nectar given by God us, and these are those beauties which are immortal and give us a reason to live on the earth despite having so many sorrows in our life. So the poem concludes with the note that even though you are encircled with so many negative aspects of life, because here people are jealous to each other, here people dislike to each other, we are being undertrodden and disliked by the people, even though there is one perennial source of joy, that is beauty, which encircles us, which binds us with so many qualities. And here the beauty has been compared with similic expression nectar. You know that the nectar one, that's Hindi word amrit, you know that one, with the God, that is the perennial source of joy, immortal drink, okay, and gives us a reason to live. So when we reach to the brink, brink means very close to the heaven. It's given a brink of heaven, brink means very close, door. Brink means door, door to heaven. Then we get that nectar part. It is called that heaven drink. What is nectar? A heaven drink, immortal drink. We know that the God where that becomes immortal through that pouring up, taking up this drink, that is called immortal drink, nectar. And beauty has been beautifully compared with simile comparison, that beauty has the quality like that the immortal drink of the heaven, that has been taken by God to become immortal in their life. So beauty is immortal. Human beings are definitely mortal, but beauty is immortal, through which we can definitely develop all the positive aspects of our life, even though we are encircled by so many negative thoughts. By whom? By human beings. So this is the poem ends here. This is the explanation part. Any confusion, then I'll take your questions, but not now. Next I'll discuss the literary devices. Very important for that RTC questions, when the reference to the context comes, that contextual questions given, that time you will be asked to mention the third line, identify the third line, which figure of speech. So it is called literary devices, figure of speech or poetic devices. So check one by one. See the rhyme scheme of the poem. We know that the rhyme scheme, it is A, B, B, C, because forever, never, keep, sleep, it is going A, then B, B. Forever, never, and then keep and sleep. This is rhyming one, forever, and then the next line, the last word is never, so A, and the next one keep and sleep, that is BB, and the third one I'll take breathing, that was definitely not matched with, that one I'll take the odd one C. You know that this is called rhyme scheme. It is called the stanzaic pattern. What is the style of writing of the poem? It is called rhetoric, okay, it is prosodic, okay, prosodic term and the rhetoric term, two different terms are there. So forever and the never, A, keep and sleep, that is BB, and the breathing, that is odd one, that is we'll select C, A, B, B, C. Okay, moving forward to the next one, that figure of speech, alliteration, use of the, what is alliteration, use of the consonant sound that I discussed at the start of the two words with the close in the series. Sleep and sweet. See that S sound, sleep and the sweet is consonant sound. Check the sound, not the letter. Again I repeat, check the sound S, and the S is repetitive near about the sentences in a words. It is called alliteration. When any word would be repeated in a sound with a consonant or the near about words, it becomes alliteration. Sleep and sweet. Metaphor, bower quiet, calmness. What is the bower means? Calmness of the bower is compared. Bower, the shady tree, that calmness, bower is compared to the calming effect of a beautiful thing. Calming, soothing effect. So the comparison is not explicit, implicit, inherent. That's why it is called metaphor. Next literary device, Anaphora. This is the new one. I have discussed several times in the class, but not now in that here. Use of the same word in the two consecutive lines. Use of the same word in the two consecutive lines. See, of noble natures, of all the unhealthy. Of noble nature, see that start of the word in the two consecutive lines, and again the next line of all. So of and of, repetitive. That's it is called anaphora. It is not alliteration, it is not repetition, it is anaphora, the word which are being used in a two consecutive lines in a repetitive manner. Understood? Again, alliteration, use of the consonant sound, that the start of the two words, which that B is the band and the bind. Okay, that is the noble and nature, S sound. S sound, BB, that N sound, noble and nature, and then band and bind, B sound in some shape. Okay, so if you will get the band and bind, B sound, and the noble and the nature, N sound is repetitive, it's become in consonant. That's why it is called alliteration. Okay. Next one, metaphor. Again, wreathing a flowery band. The beautiful things of our life bind us to the earth. Wreath a flowery band. So the beautiful things of our life, that is binds us, encircles us. That's why it is called metaphor. Here, that bindness, that unitiness, unification is also are compared with that beautiful quality of beauty. But explicit comparison, no, it is implicit comparison. That's why it is metaphor. Next, imagery. What is that imagery? That's create a sensory effect, the beautiful things lined up in a string, or sensory image. What is imagery? That you can't see, but you can visualize that these things are like what? Flowery band to bind us. If we will get the word flowery, the moment we heard or see that word, that flowery, that time our mind driven towards what? Towards the beautiful things, that sensory effect of calm, that is a flower. Definitely that flower band or the bind us with like what? At the time of garlanding, when the time we attach the garland, we try to bind that garland, that flowery image comes. That's why it is called imagery, that comes in our mind in a fleeting way. Inversion, this is the new one. What is the inversion in figure of speech? The normal order of words is reversed. If the sentence, the pattern of the sentence, if the lines are there, it's not in usual tone, a reversed way, then it is called inversion. See the line, are we reading a flowery band? It is written in a reverse tone. It should have been there that we read a flowery band. It is the proper one. It is given the reversed one. Are we reading a flowery band? So the normal mode of the words in a sentence has been what? Reversed. So that's why it is called inversion. Okay. Any more? Then I'll continue after that. The literary devices and the words and meanings. Continue after that. Next one, that is alliteration again. Consonant sound at the start of the two words. Close in the series. See that? Sprouting shady. Simple sheep. Cooling covered. See the S sound, sprouting and shady. See that simple and sheep, same that consonant sound S repetitive, and the C one, that is cooling and covered. So many alliterative words are here, figure of speeches. Imagery again has come. Trees given shade, sprouting shady boon, growing process of the daffodils. With the green world they live in, clean river streams, that clear reels, all are imagery. I discussed what is imagery. The moment we hear this word, we see this word trees. Oh, it is given what that? Cooling shade. When we hear that word, that is reel, that is a river, that is very much clear reels, very streams, flows. Daffodils, that is the beautiful flower, the green world they live. So all the pictures come in our mind in a fleeting way. That's why it is called imagery. Okay. Antithesis, this is the new one. Here the opposite words placed together, old and young. See that opposites word. What is the antithesis? Antithesis is a figure of speech, a literary device in which opposites words are placed together side by side. Like the example, if I'll put united we stand, divided we fall. Greatest example, I think, united we stand. See that united and stand, and divided and fall. This is the greatest example of antithesis. Antithesis is that the figure of speech opposite words are placed. See that old and then young. Okay. So next I'll discuss few important words so that you will not face any problem. Bower, that is the word very important. A pleasant shady place under trees or climbing plants. Pleasant shady place under tree or the climbing plants. Morrow, that is that archaic word. Today's, these days not used. Tomorrow means the following day, or we definitely simply said tomorrow. It is not tomorrow, it is tomorrow. That time definitely used by many poets. Wreathing means covering or to encircle, simply bind. Okay, wreathing. Spite means desire to offend or annoy other someone. Despondence means what? Disheartened, hopeless. I can add more here, comma. You'll put that comma one and then what? Frustrations. Noble, of superior quality, that is what? Having high moral principles, that is superior qualities. Pall a cloud, very important, that is dark cloud. Pall means here dark, of gloom and sadness. It is given a pall a cloud. These are all these negative aspects of the life. What that? All these not the beauties of nature, these are the bad things. Pall a cloud, dark cloud of gloom and sadness. Spirits the soul, what that? The lie are emotions and character. Spirit the soul, what is that? That is the emotions and our character. Sprouting, sprouting means to develop suddenly in large numbers. Sprouting. Okay, efflorescence, another word. If they take that complex word, efflorescence. Germinate, germinating. Okay, sprouting means efflorescence, develop, progress, and germinating. So many words are there. Shady boon is given already, helpful to someone. There is given the shade. Reels is streams of running water. Reels is a small source of water, running water. Covert, not openly known or displayed. Covered part. Covered means not openly displayed. Covered. Grandeur means what? So as to impress. Where the soldiers have been compared with that grandeur. What that grandeur means? That great, heavy, heavenly, that is impressful. Dooms means last day of existence. We know the doomsday, destruction day, when the Christ would come and start judging the people with that the deeds bad and good. That is called dooms. Last day of existence / destruction day, judgment day. Okay, doomsday. Immortal, living forever, you know. Heaven's brink, that is what? The door of God's home. I said that brink means what? The door. And heavens is, that's God's home. Brink means the door. And heavens, the God's home. Okay. So, up to here, whatever I discussed, the words meanings also. So, today's class up to here. Completed every portion, all the explanation part, figure of speeches and words and meanings. Any confusion, if you're not understood properly, ask me now. What makes? So the students, you can ask me the questions. Here Puneet has asked me the questions. First question, let me discuss the answer. Okay. What makes human being love life in spite of troubles and sufferings? Okay. What makes human beings love in spite of troubles and suffering? In troubles and suffering, only one thing which can encircles us, binds us, that is beauty. Beauty has the quality to remove, okay, all these troubles and suffering through what? Constant love, caring and joy. This is the simple answer. This is the question tag from beauty. Why is grandeur associated with mighty deed? Very nice question and good question. Why grandeur has been used with mighty deed? So the grandeur, that word has been used with that soldiers. I discussed now, very important one. That grandeur means what? The big, something huge, impressful. So the life of soldiers, their sacrifice to our country, to our motherland, definitely is a big grandeur. Why? Because they are the real heroes. So the poet here why tries to compare the life of the soldiers with the joy of beauty, he has said this one. Why? Because like the beauty, it is impressful. The life of the soldiers is also grandeur. Why it is grandeur, impressful? Because they sacrifice their life for our country. Question is very important. This question is very important for the CBSE concern. So many time asked. What image does the poet use to describe the beautiful bounty of the earth? Lots and lots. Lots of images. What images? Rivers, flowers, okay, forest, daffodils, musk rose, and lastly, definitely, heavenly drink. That is that hot nectar. All the images are very important to show the bounty of the earth. So last one, if I'll remove, you can definitely write rivers, okay, flowers, trees, musk rose, and the sheep also. That is given a sheep, and that one you can include shady bone. That is tree part will come. These are all enhances the bounty of the earth. Any more questions? Any student you can ask? Any confusion? What does the line therefore that we are raising a flowery band to bind us to the earth means? This line that we are raising flowery band to bind us to the earth means that it means that beauty is permanent source of joy. It increases, never fades away. So when we wreath means what? We garlanding the flower, okay? At the time we wreath the bind of the flower, that time it becomes bindful. The beauty only with constant love and care binds ourselves as a flowery band, because beauty removes all the dark spirits of life. What are the dark spirits of life that I have discussed? What are despondency, okay, dislikings of the people, jealousy, favor and fret, and trial and tribulations of the world. So all the world is encircled with negative aspects, dark spirits. Only the beauty has the capacity to bind us like a wreathing of the flower. Any more question? Then ask. What does the line pass into nothingness but will keep? These lines is very important, is meaningful, noteworthy in the contextual part of the poem, because it means that it passes nothingness but will keep. Nothingness means it has a mighty effect. If we compare beauty with other things, it is not like nothingness. It is what? Everything. It is not nothing, it's everything. But it will keep increasing and helping ourselves and never fades away with the passage of time. Okay, the poet here tries to say it is perennial, it is permanent, it is everlasting. If it is audible, then ask me. Any confusion, any questions? If other students being with me, then they can also ask me the questions. Otherwise, I'll sum up today's class. Do we experience things of beauty only for short moments, or do they make a lasting impression on us? What is the questions? Do we experience things of beauty only for short moments, or do they make a lasting impression? Definitely lasting impression. we experience thing of beauty as a lasting impression to us. It is not a temporary short moment. It is not fleeting. Fleeting. Beauty is never fleeting. Beauty is not temporary. Beauty is permanent. Okay, and beauty is everlasting. Why? Because beauty soothes away. Beauty helps to bind us. Beauty helps us to give so many natural beauties of nature. So every aspects of life, beauty is permanent. It is everlasting. It is not temporary. It is not short moment. Beauty is called heavenly tonic, drink, nectar. Why? Because beauty has been compared with immortality. We human beings are prone to death. We human beings are what? Our life is temporary. Anytime we succumbs to death. But beauty, it's not like that. It is immortal. And when the poet has coined the word immortal, he tries to settle down with another word, that is what? That is nectar. You know the nectar, that is heavenly tonic drink, because it is bring close to our god. So gods definitely they are known for immortality. So beauty also a source of immortal. It is not like mortal human beings whose life is fleeting, whose life is temporary, whose life anytime succumbs to death. Any problem? Understood, I think. So this way you'll write the answer. Okay. No problem there. Okay. All questions asked by Puneet, tagged by Puneet. Very important one. Okay. Read the poem. Read my explanation part. That video part. Prepare your questions. I'll give that question answer part also. I'll send that notes. Okay. Thank you for today's class. Thank you for being with me. Have a nice day, students. Bye bye.